What makes me proud of being a Frankfordian is the diversity in this community. I am not originally from Frankfurt. One of the reasons why my wife and I decided to move to this community as opposed to staying in the Northwest where, I was living before I met her. The diversity, the opportunity to learn from people of such diverse backgrounds. The history of the community. I attend an historical church. My daughter attends an historical school, elementary school, middle school. So those are the things, instilling a sense of who we are from where we've come from to understand where we're going. It's important to me. It is a loving community. I think that's the most important thing to know about Frankfurt. Frankfurt is the first community after I came from school that I felt a sense of community. I've lived in a number of communities. I've lived almost everywhere in the city of Philadelphia. West Philadelphia, University City, Mount Airy, Germantown, North Philadelphia, all over the place. Finding Frankfurt was like coming back home to me. It was like me finding a place where I fit in, I could raise my family, and we can be part of a community in which we can help become enduring and successful. Successful being somewhere where all of our hopes and dreams for not just ourselves but our children can be realized as best they can be. One of the things in today's day and age, one of the things that we become, or we fall into the trap of, is becoming prisoners of the moment. We live in the time of 24-hour news cycles, and what we see can form an instant impression of what we believe someplace to be. Unfortunately, over the past couple of years, a number of things that have happened in our community that don't represent who we are as a community and as a people, and that's so untrue. I think that once you come to this community, you learn that because of the caring, the diversity, the history of who we are, not just as a place, but as a people, weighs so much more than what you see this community portrayed as by the media. We are so much more than that, and it's just a beautiful place to be and to raise your family, and it's going to become an even greater place once people find out the jewel that we are. The murals. What kind of images come to my mind about that I would like people impacted by these murals? Firstly, the history. Let's talk about the history. Frankfurt just recently celebrated its sesquicentennial. I think it was 1998 or 1999. We're over 160 years old, so there is history as Frankfurt being a part of the city, but also being its own county and having its own identity within this region. The industry, the history of industry and hard work. We were one of the industrial bases for this region for a number of years, up until probably the early 80s. Frankfurt was one of the stops on the Underground Railroad. Even though the movement for anti-slavery started in Germantown at Freedom Square at Germantown and Worcester, it was realized here in Frankfurt with Frankfurt Friends, which is right behind where we're sitting right now, at Campbell AME Church, where I'm a member at, one of the major stops on the Underground Railroad. We are one of the #1 communities in the city that openly embrace our neighbors from all over the world, our Latino neighbors, our Ethiopian neighbors can come, can worship, can live, and reside with us in a place which they feel safe and part of, and have a say in what goes on in the community, not just for themselves, for their families. What can I describe Frankford in a word? Wow, okay, that's not the word. Frankford is, Frankford is hope.